Good morning, everybody, and happy Tuesday. In this Valhalla Mortgages vlog, we're going to go over the CPI data that was released for May, came out this morning. We're also going to provide an update on the Israel-Iran conflict and oil prices as well, and also where bond yields are, so we have an idea where fixed rates are going to be. First things first, I'm Michelle St. Pierre. I'm a mortgage broker in Ontario. If you have any mortgage questions, please follow up with me directly. So we got the CPI data for May. Headline came in at about 1.7%. Core came in at about 2.7%. The reason why we are having lower and lower inflation data is, of course, the lower gas prices that we had before. So that's driving down prices across the board there. Now, the main driver of our inflation data right now is mortgage interest costs. It's been like that for a while. This is the one thing that the Bank of Canada really can control, is by getting those variable rate mortgages down. They can actually control the amount of mortgage interest and also shelter costs in that way as well. So will the Bank of Canada cut interest rates next month? It's tough to say. I give it about a 50-50 shot. They will continue to cut rates this year, but will they cut next month? It's tough to say. Now, because oil is in everything, let's go take a look at oil. So even after the strike from Iran to some U.S. military bases, this was all choreographed ahead of time. This was all announced ahead of time. Airspaces were closed. There was minimal casualties. This was a very symbolic strike back. In the Middle East, there's a tit-for-tat kind of strategy there. I hit you, you hit me, and then we negotiate. That seems to be what happened. In fact, during the strike, which was obviously symbolic, prices of oil already started to drop right during that strike. So it never reached $80 a barrel, and it dropped all the way down to today we're at 68 and could continue to tumble. Essentially, the risk of this Middle Eastern conflict between Israel and Iran has been priced out of the oil market already. As I mentioned before, the markets knew something we didn't. They figured that this was all just for show, and it looks like the Strait of Hormuz will be fine. Oil supplies aren't going to be disrupted here. Now let's take a look at bond yields. So same story as yesterday. Even with the release of the CPI data, yields have pretty much stayed the same. Now, yields are driven by growth expectations and inflationary expectations. So they're still staying under 3%. There was no major spike because of the risk of future inflation from that conflict that was going on. So even the bond traders had an idea that this was probably going to be over before any major problems in the supply of oil would have occurred. So that doesn't mean don't get your rate locks in. Still reevaluate your pre-approvals. If you need any mortgage advice or if you're struggling with your debts, please follow up with me directly.